All right, there's some problems in the quiz that we didn't do particularly well on, so let's talk about those. Specifically, number 2 on the front asks you to graph the wave. There's this whole bunch of information up there. It talks about the spring constant, 8.77 newtons per meter. It talks about 2 kilogram mass placed on it. It talks about the mass is lifted 0.20 meters. So that means at t equals 0, it's going to be lifted and released at 0.2 meters. Now, if it's lifted, my spring, and I lift it up, what's it going to do after it's been lifted up? Several of you had it drawn going up. If I lift it up, it's going to get let go of, it's going to fall, right? So it's going to go down. We know it's going to go down. But we're missing some key information. So, for example, at 10 seconds, I want to know what the heck's going on. I don't have that information. 7, 8, 9. Hope it's spaced out good enough. All right, so last thing I need is period. Period equals 2 pi square root of m over k. That's a formula in their formula sheet for mass springs, periods. So I simply plug in 2 pi, a square root, mass was 2, spring constant was 8.77. Throw it in my calculator, I got 3 seconds. Which means that this thing at this 1, 2, 3 seconds, it should be right back up here at the end of 3 seconds, right? So I would draw whatever it takes to make that happen. At 1.5, I'm down at negative 0.2. So I would go whoop, whoop, right? And then 4, 5, 6, there's 6, 1.5, so like this. And then 7, 8, 9, repeat. And then by 10, we're already down here, but moving that way. Fair enough? And that's how you should get that. So you need to get the period from the information and the equation. You needed to get the fact the amplitude was 0.2 by the fact that that's my initial distortion. The other problem that I really need to talk about is number 5. Number 5, which is on the second page on the front. Number 5. I have here, it looks like this. I've got this. I've got 8 seconds here. 4 seconds to be in the middle. Starting at 3, swings down and then back up. And at 8 seconds, I'm back up at 3. Means this I'm at negative 3. Now this is how far it's displaced horizontally, right? So from here to here would be 6 meters. This would be my low spot, which is 0 meters. Now, it says we're also vertically displaced 0.34 meters. So, question number 1, what's the amplitude of the pendulum? Pendulum is how much it goes up and down. That should have been 3 meters and pretty simple. What's the period of the pendulum? It's how long it takes till it repeats. Well, it doesn't repeat till it gets to 8 seconds, right? Till it gets to right up to 8 seconds is where it's same as the start. So that would be a period of 8 seconds. Length of the rope, what? Period equals 2 pi square root of L over G. Period you just said was 8 seconds, right? So it's 8 times 2 pi square root of L, which I don't know, over G, which is 9.8. This I can solve. So therefore I go to solve it, and I got that the length was 15.9 meters. You solved algebraically. What is the frequency? Well, frequency is just 1 over the period. So period was what? This is 1 over 8. Now I cannot leave it like this. I want you guys to write fractions for a science class. Put in your calculator. It equals 1.25 hertz. That's the correct answer. And last but not least, what is its speed when it gets to the bottom? What is its speed when it gets to the end at 4 seconds? Now, at 4 seconds, we are... Oh, no. I got this one wrong. Ha, ha, ha. Excellent. At 4 seconds, we are at the other end, right? So we would be completely over here, right? Negative 3, so that would be 0. So I'm going to correct your quizzes because you'd have no speed there. If I ask for the speed here, though, what would I do? That would be at this position here. So let me back up, because I can't see you guys. I have no idea if you're following this or not. Okay, so when I first graded your quiz, I thought this was in the middle, right? But actually, if it's displaced -3, which is what this is, it would be way over here, which means it should have 0 meters per second should be its velocity. So let me go fix that. It's also wrong in your answer keys. It would be 0 meters per second. Agreed? Okay, so now let's go back. If I asked you here, which would be the middle point, you'd use energy before equals energy after. The energy before, it would be above it, so that would be potential. So mgh is equal to 1/2 mv squared, because it'd all be kinetic at the bottom. M's cancel out, and you would get the answer I got down there, which is not true for 4 seconds, but would be true for 2 or for 6 seconds. I hope that didn't confuse you too much, and I will fix that on your quizzes. Questions? You can't ask them because I'm not here. All right, next thing we're going to pass out a key. Again, the last one, the key is wrong for, so just be aware of that. Other than that, you guys did pretty good. So, here comes the key.